you have to analyze it also from your level of risk. Are their exposure to the Pogo industry something that you should be concerned about? Or at this price, is this actually worth this much based on the assets that they have? It does not mean that 2.25 it's cheaper and lower. Just looking at the market cap already, it's already a larger market cap. Mas mabigat siya as compared to a REIT. Hey guys, so in this video, let's talk about the newest REIT or the second REIT that's coming out in the Philippines, the Ddmp Reit. And I know a lot of you guys have been asking questions about it. One of the reasons why I'm doing this video now, because over the past days, SEC approved it already. Aside from a definite timetable, we have more details also on what will happen and how the listing will go as well. So for those of you who are hearing REIT for the first time, I've been investing in REIT since 2013, 2014. When it was not yet available in the Philippines, there were possibilities to do it, but to buy listed companies outside the Philippines as well. Then last year, we had our first REIT called A-REIT, which was so amazing, no? I personally liked it so much. A-REIT mentioned that they didn't have occupancy, that they were relatively full, and then the number of years where they had their tenants locked in was pretty amazing also. I was just in it primarily for the capital appreciation, but looking at it now, no, by the time the recording is being done, it's already at 34 pesos per share, and then looking at it from where it was, the 27 level, and then it dropped by, which was an opportunity to buy it lower, then it's not just anymore a dividend play, at least for A-REIT. It also became a capital appreciation play. But please do note that as we start doing this video, once again, do not buy this stock just because it's talked about here. Please do your own due diligence because it's so important, and because it's your money, it's your responsibility. You have to take the time to be able to analyze it well. You have to take the time to be able to do a deep dive, to take something serious, to be able to study it if it fits you and it fits your risk tolerance and you understand it very, very well. So the offering period will be March 5 to 11. So you would normally see brokers ask you already for reservations if you would want to get it. In my experience also, no, I've seen listings not just for A-REIT but for other IPOs where prior to the listing date, mabilis siya no ubos. So at the start pa lang of the offering date, baka wala ng slot doon. It will be listed in the stock market by March 19. For those of you who want to position in it but want to wait for price action, then it would be prudent also for you to wait when it's listed. I'm not saying it will drop, but should it drop in price, you get to position lower. Yung pitfall nga lang nun is if you wait for it and then it starts to go up higher, you will be forced to buy it at a higher price. So your options is, if you really like the company, but you are a person that likes price action, wait for it and then you can pick up whatever amount of shares that you want when it's already out in the open market. The flip side is you can position early, you can buy already. The problem also though with trying to get stocks that are listed is kung madaming taong gusto mag-position dun, the allotment or the allocation won't be as much eh. Kailangan pa paghati-hatiin yun and you might not get the full allocation that you would also want. By the way, no, this is I think my third video on this, and this is probably my 14th or 15th video talking about REITs. So what I'll do, there are videos popping up here and I'll put the link in the description below for you guys to get more details on what REITs are, how do you make money from REITs, my early analysis on Ddmp Reit, and my full analysis on A-REIT from the time it went public to where it is also right now. So basically, they will be selling it no at a maximum price of 2.25 pesos, and I've seen a lot of reports on that for the past months. But of course, we always have to wait what will be the final offering price of this particular stock. But right now, all of the computations that I will be doing is pegged at the 2.25 peso mark as well. I think that's also been the style no, of the Injap group. Their pricing in terms of listings are very, very close to 1 peso. I remember Double Dragon 2014 was around 2 pesos. Meridian was around 1 peso. So it's good in a way because psychologically, it allows people to perceive it na, hindi siya ganun kataas yung price. So I think from a psychological standpoint, that's a very, very good way for them to price it. Especially, by the way, for retailers that are very, very sensitive that I don't want to buy a stock that's priced at 1,000 pesos. I just want to buy something that's priced at somewhere close to 1 because it might have a chance. But please do note that it doesn't really work also that way. When they do the listing, 70% of whatever they're selling will primarily go to foreigners, then 30% is what will be available to locals. And I've been saying this all the time, and if you've seen guests in my podcast, that a lot of the foreigners are shocked whenever I would share the dividend yields that we get here in the Philippines as compared to what they're getting in the States. I think this is something that is attractive to foreign investors because it gives them a shot to get a higher dividend yield that they don't normally get in their country, especially if they're in Western shores or they're in more developed countries where the dividend yield is not as high. So 70% versus the 30% that we have here. 4.159 billion shares would be allotted for foreigners. Then you have 1.728 billion shares that would be given and allotted to locals. So that's the distribution of 70-30. The total shares that would be sold is 5.9 billion shares. There's an allotment of 594.20 million shares also should they need to add more and they get to raise more money as well. The total money that DDMP would raise is around 14.7 billion pesos and putting it at a market cap of 40.11 billion pesos. So a lot of you, I'm sure, will be asking what was the market cap of A-REIT at that particular point in time. So A-REIT, when they did their IPO, it was around 27 billion. For this one, DDMP Reit, so the market cap is relatively higher already. So this is what they're saying the business is worth given at this particular price. So you can already at least make your analysis. At this price, is this actually worth this much based on the assets that they have and based also on the future earnings that it will possibly give you? So that's one way for you to look at it. It does not mean that 2.25 it's cheaper and lower. Just looking at the market cap already, it's already a larger market cap. Mas mabigat siya as compared to A-REIT. A-REIT's market cap right now is around 34.77 million. And given that A-REIT's price has gone up already a bit, we're looking at a higher market cap for Ddmp Reit at its IPO pa lang. So please do note that market cap of A-REIT has moved up from 27 billion to 34 billion given that its price has moved up also from 27 pesos to around 34 pesos right now. So after selling everything, or at least after the listing, the public at that point in time would own around 36.67%. Then Double Dragon, which is the parent company, would own around 44.33%, and the Yuhiko couple would own around 19%. So the rationale for this is there are implementing rules that for the amount of shares that should be sold in the public, and this is well inside what's required also by the government. I did a deep dive already on this. You can just watch the other video, but what will be included in the REIT is 6 office towers in the Meridian Park, which is in the MOA area in the Bay Area. So my suggestion to those who know how to stay safe and to those who also are in the Metro Manila area and have the ability to also check it. I said this in the A-REIT video. Daanan nyo para at least makita nyo, di ba? The main underlying reason on why you're buying it is primarily because it's real estate. Check the number of people that are passing by, foot traffic, the quality of the place also. Do you think, and by your own analysis, you see that area will continue to rise up in property value? Because please do note that if it continues to rise up in property value, then rents will also go up. You always ask yourself, will this be an area with high demand and limited supply? Because there might be a shot, there might be a chance that increased demand, limited supply, then property prices will increase or rent prices would also increase as well. So during Valentine's, we went to the Sofitel area, so we were able to pass by it. So I just saw the facade again as of now, but there's a Mary Mart store there. There are also other Jollibee related branches there. As you all know, Double Dragon Katyong also is highly connected to it. So you can check the retail area, and then everyone knows there was a Pogo exodus also. So please check the impact of the tenants there as well. And above and beyond that, I know there are other tenants also, financial institutions also that are branches of some insurance companies that are there. So ganun din naman kung bibili kayo ng condo, chine-check nyo yung property, chine-check nyo yung lugar. REITs, it's not you managing it. Since it's heavily connected to real estate, there are certain principles in real estate investing that will apply in this. When you look at the numbers, then you look at the place itself, and then you look at, okay ba yung pag-manage din nila nung property na to? That's when you start to decide as well. Just putting it all together also, the total 6 buildings that are there is around 172,000 square meters of gross leasable area, and this is what they disclosed as of June 2020. So I don't have any other disclosures that I could find in terms of their occupancy rate, but their occupancy rate as of June 2020 is 99.5%. So it would be cool sana if I could find December 2020 data. If you guys have any, put it in the comment section below. If you guys have pictures that you guys want to send me, just slide a DM via Patreon or Instagram about it. So maybe I can make another follow-on video on this. Let's look at the income of DD Meridian Park. I just want to show you two things. 2019 income, 5.29 or 5.30 billion pesos. Then, this is up until September 30, 2020. We're seeing around 4.415 billion pesos. So, 2019-2020 in terms of its net income. Then I want to show you bits and pieces of its balance sheet also. I just want to zero into its cash because as you all know, in the pandemic also, it's so important for companies to be liquid. It's so important for the companies to have a war chest, at least cash, to be able to protect them and help them. Their cash decreased from 2.21 billion pesos in 2019 to 1.459 billion pesos in 2020. So their cash got lower, but they have around 1.459 billion pesos in cash still. As part of their balance sheet, they've included their investment property, which they have appreciated from 2019 that was 37 billion to around 41 billion pesos already. So given the time frame from 2019 to September 2020, the property values, at least in that area, moved up in value from 37 billion to around 41 billion pesos. I'm gonna show you their dividends from 2019. This is disclosed in their website. You're seeing it right here. But it does not mean that they gave this for 2019. This is what they will give for 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026, moving forward. For the very reason that the dividends that they will give is also dependent on what they are earning. That's why I said, tignan nyo, daanan nyo, puntahan nyo, check nyo yung occupancy rate also because that's so important. The number of people renting there will heavily affect their revenue because as you all know, REITs make money from rentals, and as REITs makes money from rentals, it will be heavily dependent on the number of people that are renting and how locked in those rental periods are. If the IPO price would be around 2.25 and then just assuming it from 2019 levels, again guys, this is an assumption lang, showing you the 2019 dividends that they're giving here, the yield should be around 3.18%. So that means that they should give more than this for 2021 for this to be something that will be attractive for you vis-a-vis also versus a REIT which is giving out something that in my opinion is higher also. And please do note also you have your telcos, the Globes and the PLDTs that even at this time looking at 2020 dividends, the yields of those would be relatively higher. Here's the difference between an IPO and a REIT. For the REIT kasi, they are mandated by law that the money that they would raise from the REIT should stay in the Philippines. Majority of the proceeds of this would be injected as equity for one of their businesses called Central Hub Industrial Center. So always check if you like the location and the primeness of the location, the quality of the tenants, and also how locked in they are will ultimately decide the predictability of the earnings of the company will be. And the more predictable they are, the better it would be for you because you can somehow have a semblance of how predictable the revenue would be, which would also spill over to what the dividends are as well. So let me know, based on what I said, do you guys like the Ddmp Reit? Will you guys invest in it? Is this something that's appealing for all of you? Now, that being said, just to give you my context into all of this is, you know me, I'm invested in cryptocurrencies. I'm invested in some tech stocks in the US that some of them have not even turned a profit yet. So just comparing it in terms of risk, I might not be the best person to be able to answer this because my risk tolerance is relatively higher. So I will perceive asset classes like this as something that may not be too risky for me. So you have to analyze it also from your level of risk. Are their exposure to the Pogo industry something that you should be concerned about? Or they might be resilient enough that they might be able to find other tenants that could take up that space, so it should not be also a concern. So those are questions that you should ask yourself. Those are questions that as an investor you should know, and don't just look at it na hindi 2 pesos yan, mas malaking chance mag 10 yan tas may dividends pa ako. Don't look at it that way. Try to analyze it looking at it from a business perspective. Try to look at it from the lens na that you are coming in as an investor, that you are coming in also looking at it as a chance for you to somehow earn repetitive revenue. So personally, I'm still gonna study it even more. I'm still trying to do a deep dive whether I will invest in it or not. But if I think the dividend yield is already attractive for me, I like taking risks. If the yield is attractive for me, I may go for it as well. So let me know. I want to know your ideas and thoughts on this. And again, please do note, do not buy, sell, hold, or avoid a stock just because I talk about it here. Please use this video as data, but it's your money, it's your responsibility. You have to do your own deep dive, whether you want to buy it or not. Comment your questions if you have more. If there's still time before the listing, I'll try to make videos on this. If you guys appreciate this video, it would be so awesome if you could press the like button. And if you are watching this via Facebook, appreciate it if you can share this as well to all of your friends. And at the end of the day, the reason why I love making videos like this is I just want to educate you, give you as much details as possible so that you can trade the markets with confidence. Because at the end of the day, it's all about coming in with the knowledge and deploying capital based on that knowledge and the conviction that this is something that's part of your plan. And I just really want to see more Filipinos be financially free, and I really believe investing is one of the best ways for people also to benefit from that. So that's it for now. This is Marvin Kermo. I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, guys, and God bless you all.